There's two people who I think is perfect for AJ, and actually one of those you could chuck in against Tyson Fury, and you could put it on the same card, man. You get Tyson Fury fighting Fighter X, and AJ fighting AJ
Ooh, I like it.
X2, and the two guys I think there, but you can use for AJ. We said it before. He's being fattened up. He's been brought in from the cold. He's been given a slot on the zone, whereas before there was
the cold.
You said it's way too soon to maybe speculate what's in 25 because you wouldn't have spoke to him about anything related to boxing since the Usyk fight in terms of the future, etc. But from a Frank Warren point of view, I've asked you there what's there left. The only thing that springs to mind is a fight with Anthony Joshua because the country would still stop for that.
I'm sure it is there to be made, and or if people want to see it, and we'll see what happens. They'd watch him fighting lots of different fighters still. The heavyweight division's lively. He's not a washed-up fighter. He's not had 7 bells kicked out of him and it's all over. Same as Usyk. There are fights to be made there. There's some great fights to be made.
Okay.
If he wants to do it.
with Tyson Fury's lost to Usyk and AJ's lost to Daniel Dubois. Do we even want to see that AJ versus Tyson Fury fight? Baz, let's get into it. Is that a fight you still want to see? Actually, before we get into it, Baz, Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas, you filthy ant.
We've been absent for a little bit, haven't we, Baz?
We have.
Your face was looking like Hitch the other day, I'm not going to lie.
Oh man, my face was swollen up.
Your lip was like swelling like this, and your nose was bigger than normal. Like,
hey, listen to the nose, yeah.
Actually, I can't really talk about the nose, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're all right now. You're all recovered now.
I'm fighting strong now. That's it. Go 10 rounds. Let's go.
Yeah. You saw any good Christmas movies this year, Baz?
Oh, you know what? I started watching Home Alone again, and then
Home Alone, yeah. One or two?
It was one.
You did one, yeah.
Yeah. And then you know what? I didn't really get a chance, man. Like it's tough.
Busy,
like,
running around.
Yeah. Did you watch any?
I watched that new Netflix one. It's like that Die Hard light new one on Netflix. But yeah, it was alright. It's not, it's...
Is it a little bit of yippee-ki-yay?
It was...
Is that the one where it's
Carry On. Carry On.
That's the one.
Carry On.
Yeah.
It was alright.
I ain't watched it yet, but...
As films go, it wasn't too bad. I think they was just like, as I said, those...
Don't make them like they used to. Like, I wanted to watch Jingle All the Way, but
I did watch that, actually. Did watch it with the family. But speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, from one big heavyweight to another big heavyweight, Tyson Fury, Baz. It's seamless.
Yeah, I like that. I like it.
I should get paid for this,
Yeah. When's that happen?
But look, it was a great card. There was some controversy on the card. We're not going to go into it too much, like all the fights, because it's been there, done it, bit too much overload. But we want to talk about what's next for Tyson Fury and Usyk. Baz, what do you think? What do you think it should do next?
Obviously, Eddie Hearn's come out and straight away touted that he wants the AJ fight for Tyson Fury, and that's the only thing that's available, and that's going to be right for him. I'm not so sure. I was
watching an interview with Dan Raphael actually earlier, and I really respect Dan Raphael. I think he does a great job. He's very unbiased when he talks. He gives you the facts, and he has a few sources which he gets good information from as well. I think he notably leaked the card before everyone else did.
He's generally quite accurate in everything.
Was it the February card, wasn't it? He leaked, I think. Yeah. He was saying the only fight that makes sense is AJ versus Tyson Fury next. And anyone who doesn't think that is stupid. And I was like, Dan, this going so well.
That's a bit like, come on.
Yeah. But yeah, I respect him as a journalist and a pundit. But yeah, so that's what he's saying. So are we all stupid? Is it stupid not to want that fight next?
I don't know, man. I feel like it needs to be built up. Built up a little bit more. Like, I got as much as it's a long time.
It's that word, isn't it? The tune-up fight.
Yeah,
the tune-up fight.
Listen, AJ should have fought Wilder ages ago. AJ should have fought Tyson Fury ages ago. And I know most of that is down to Tyson Fury and definitely down to Wilder, because Wilder never wanted that fight. But it's what's happened has happened. And
Yeah.
AJ's had...
The landscape has changed.
It's changed. It's shifted stuff.
And Turkey, he's done his best to make the things work. But the good thing with Riyadh season and the Saudi influence is you've got the best fighting the best, but unfortunately with that, it throws a few hurdles in the way.
It does.
And it leaves us here whereby maybe the best isn't the best.
Nah. And then listen, if for Tyson Fury, I think it's a good shout. I mean, at the moment,
what is the AJ fight?
The AJ fight, yeah, because you look the way I'd be looking at it is Daniel Dubois did a job on AJ. As much as I don't like to say it, he did a job on him. Whereas Tyson Fury went into the Usyk fight way heavier, and he still moved around pretty well. And
he made it, yeah.
In most of the fight,
he didn't gas out at all. He paced himself quite well in that fight, didn't he?
Yeah. He come out looking like Santa Claus, and he was trying to gift everyone presents. Like, what was this?
It was a weird one for me watching the fight because Tyson Fury, there was something missing that night.
Yeah.
The X factor was missing. He did everything right.
He almost seemed reluctant to fight. He didn't want to go toe to toe. He didn't want to get caught.
I don't think he would have gone into that fight next, if I'm honest with you, the rematch. I think he would have had something in between. Yeah, and maybe. It's almost kind of like he's been forced into this fight because I'm guessing there would have been a clause in the contract saying if he pulled out.
Yeah. I mean,
because last time they
would have probably lost more belts. Well, it wouldn't have been as sweet.
It had to happen. And there's too much money for it not to happen next, the rematch. But yeah, I don't think he wanted that fight next, did he?
Nah. He went into it not looking like he wanted.
I think he did a good job, Tyson Fury, but the work rate was a little bit lacking. I think if he upped the work rate a bit, and with Usyk as well, there was a couple of rounds where you watched it and Usyk, he turned it on in the final sort of 20, 30 seconds and he sort of stole around in a way.
Yeah, whereas it was smart boxing.
I didn't square round for round. We're not going to go into that. But let's talk about what's next, though, Baz. So, what are you saying? You think Tyson Fury should be fighting AJ next?
If you're a Tyson Fury fan, I would want him to walk straight into that fight.
Because you think he'd be because he wasn't terrible against Usyk.
Yeah,
but you think he's did well enough that he'd be fancying the AJ fight next.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're AJ, I don't know if he's got the.
I gotta say something, man. Because we're AJ fans, but we like to think we say it as it is. Yeah. So we've criticised AJ in the past. We've criticised other fighters in the past, but the hate that AJ still gets from certain areas, like with TalkSport and Simon Jordan.
TalkSport.
For someone who keeps saying AJ's irrelevant, he can't seem to stop talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's clear that even when AJ's silent, he is on everyone's lips still. So I don't know why this hate is there by some quarters. Like,
I think what you get is a lot of people. It's all the fans who I say fans, all the boxing so-called pundits and stuff who think that they know everything and that they've said all along that AJ is just a
fraud,
a hype job, like a fraud,
which is rubbish.
Which is rubbish because I'm not being funny. You can rubbish him as much as you like for his recent performances, but when you go through his resume, he's beaten people that were at their prime, as well as people that didn't bogeymen that people didn't want to fight. No one was touching Andy Ruiz before that. No one was touching Povetkin. Joseph Parker. Takam was pretty good at the time. It beat Klitschko in his prime, which I think he was actually better.
Actually, sorry to cut you off there, Baz, as well. Joseph Parker fight made against Daniel Dubois. Again, we haven't had a chance to touch on this, but we've done our two top. We've done two top fives of who we should fight next, and both top fives that we said the fights have happened. So when we do a top five. And you get in that number one slot,
we make it happen.
The fight happens. So I'm pleased to say that Daniel Dubois.
You let us know what you want a top five on, and we'll do it. Just so
that Daniel Dubois fight, Parker fight, it happened, and I'm not going to say we did it, Baz. The pressure from us the pressure to make that fight happen. But anyway, I'll digress. So I cut you off in flow. Go on.
But yeah, getting back to it, I don't think AJ's got to prove his career at the end of the day. I think his career is there. His legacy is there.
The body of work is there.
That's it. But Tyson Fury hasn't necessarily got that. But at the same time, like we said,
what about Wilder? Three times.
Come on, don't bring that up.
Plus, you could say Fury done better against Usyk than AJ did.
All right, he done better.
In some ways, actually saying that AJ didn't get knocked down by him in the first.
Loser award. Well done.
For me, the other night, Usyk versus Tyson Fury, there were two elite fighters. One was a little bit better than the other one on the night. The thing missing for Tyson Fury was the confidence, perhaps. But these things happen. So
if you were to give an alternative to fighting AJ at the moment for Fury, who would it be?
Well, I've been saying it with regards to AJ. I think AJ needs to have a fight in between. I'm not saying to go on. Not to have 10 fights. And I think now Tyson Fury has to have a fight in between. Although, given his performance against Usyk, he can maybe get away with not having one. But AJ 100% has to have a fight in between. And there's two people who I think would be perfect for either of them in a way. There's two people who I think is perfect for AJ, and actually one of those you could chuck in against Tyson Fury, and you could put it on the same card, Baz. You get Tyson Fury for fighting Fighter X, and AJ fighting AJ X2, and the two guys I think there, but you could use for AJ. We said it before. Dillian White is being fattened up. He's been brought in from the cold. He's been given a slot on the zone, whereas before there was reluctance to put him on there. The sole purpose of that is to chuck him in against AJ, Baz.
All right, and who's the other one?
There's no way he's getting onto zone unless they've got a master plan there.
It's true.
So for me, they're keeping that as the ace in the deck, and I think.
Who could Fury fight on that card then? Who could he fight as an alternative?
So
to
again,
AJ?
for AJ, there's two fighters that make sense next, yeah? Because thinking from a win perspective, you want AJ to get a win, but you want it to be a tough fight, and you want a grudge fight. There needs to be enough in there to sell the story. So
so Dillian White works.
You've got Dillian White there. It ticks those boxes there. It's a winnable fight for AJ. I'm not saying he's going to win it outright, but based on Dillian White's recent form, it's a winnable fight for AJ. And the potential grudge match. They can sell it. The other one is Miller. That is a fight against AJ. And again, I've said it before, I say it again, I don't believe he should get a payday after what he got caught with in his system. He doesn't deserve it. But for the purpose,
what has Miller done to deserve these fights? Like, honestly,
he doesn't. But he's a name, and he can sell the fight. And there's a rivalry there between him and AJ. So I think either one of those fights for AJ, Dillian White or Miller, makes sense. Yeah. And the way you do it, you can chuck in Dillian White against AJ, put Miller against Tyson Fury. Those are winnable fights for both of those guys. They both can talk. It can sell. Put them on the same card. And the ideal plan is AJ wins, Fury wins, and then you go into that fight, AJ versus Tyson Fury. They're going off wins. You don't want them going into that fight off losses.
Nah. I mean, the only thing.
What, Baz?
I don't know, bruv.
Why are you hesitating, Baz?
Miller against Fury is weak, bruv. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I see maybe Miller or White against.
Yeah, but if you chuck it on the AJ
I feel
card,
like you need someone else against Fury.
The only other thing is bringing in Ngannou back and doing that.
No, I know.
But I think that's a bigger risk.
Yeah, I mean, considering he knocked him down the first time. But Fury's a lot more honed in now. I feel like he'll do a better job.
He is.
So yeah, I mean,
all right. Who would you?
Saying that, Ngannou would make Fury look better if he did a better job on him.
Yeah.
Saying that now. So yeah, that's not a bad shout.
Who would? The only other guy I think you could chuck in against Tyson Fury, and again from the boxing purist point of view, I think it'd be a good fight. Tyson Fury versus Bacoli.
Ooh, wow, that's dangerous, guys.
It's dangerous, but You'd think
maybe like a Frank Sanchez or something.
Nah, man. Like,
but it needs to be someone who needs to get him out of bed for.
With Bakoli, is someone who the boxing purists would like it.
Yeah.
He deserves a shot at one of the top guys.
A lot of people think, like, actually quite rate Bakoli at the minute. So if AJ beat Bakoli, then that would up his stakes quite a bit. As much as it's a dangerous fight.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is, but is that too risky though?
It is a bit risky. If he gets beaten by a...
if you're the promoter for that fight for AJ, do you think that's a good idea?
Probably not. No.
Yeah. Although I still pick AJ to win that fight.
Yeah, I probably would as well. But yeah, you wouldn't want to toss it up if you wanted them to fight Fury, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, so we talked about some possible fights. So Baz, look, I mean, before we finish off, would you? We started off by saying, do you want to see the AJ versus Fury fight? Is that a yes? You're not, you don't want it.
I don't know. I still don't know if I want it.
It's lost the shine, then, isn't it?
It's lost the shine.
Yeah.
But listen, I hear it. I understand why it still makes money, why people still want it. I just feel like if both fighters plan on fighting on for a little bit longer, then they should take a little tune-up fight and then fight each other.
Yeah, I think so.
And then just forget world titles at the moment because they're off the cards at them.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Fury's never going to fight Dubois because they're the same promoter. Frank's never going to throw Dubois under the bus like that. So
Or Fury.
And obviously Usyk's holding up all the other belts. So it's never going to happen. So in terms of paydays and things like that,
you've got to forget the belts. When it comes to Tyson Fury and AJ now, you've got to forget the belts.
That's it.
It's just about making big fights, competitive fights.
Yeah.
That people, the fans want to see. And that's the thing at the moment. I'm not convinced, like, as much as Eddie Hearn's been doing all the talking and Frank Warren, maybe not so much. I'm not convinced the fans want to see Fury versus AJ next.
Right.
And
I think it's something we have to put a poll out for or something like that.
Yeah.
See what the people saying.
Yeah, and actually you did one the other day. We had a few responses back. The majority of people thought Tyson Fury lost to Usyk. Some people were calling it a draw. I think the swings was a bit high. I think the score difference was a bit high. Yeah, I need to watch it back again, to be honest. But I could see an argument for a draw and a Usyk win. So, yeah. But anyway, let us know your thoughts. Do you want to see Tyson Fury versus AJ next? Put in the comments below. If not, should they retire? Should they walk out? Both sail off into the sunset? Or who? Yeah. And with Usyk, Baz, that's, for me, I think he's completed boxing. So
yeah, it's completed.
For him, there's no one else he needs to fight. He can retire for me, Usyk. And retires great. So, but yeah, anyway, smash that like button and subscribe.
Peace.